Let me pick on this young lady right there. You see me pointing right at you? Yeah, what's your name? Paige. Okay, I got one person. How about you? What's your name? Natalie. All right, Paige and Natalie, forgive me. I'm going to use you guys as part of this presentation and try to keep everyone as engaged as I possibly can. Paige, where are you from?
I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm here for Vision Network.
Sweet. My baby brother just moved to Denver for an internship at Lyft. I'm going to try to find you later because he knows nobody. Paige, what kind of phone do you have? Sweet. Natalie? Natalie. What kind of phone do you have?
An iPhone.
All right, we got 2 iPhone users. Paige, how many pictures and videos do you have on your phone?
Too many to count.
Too many to count. Can I assume more than 10,000?
Sure.
I wonder how many of those are selfies. I won't judge Paige, we just met. Natalie, how many pictures and videos do you have on your phone?
I don't know. Probably like
14,000. We're not going to talk about influencers. We're not going to even talk about social media. Let's talk about Paige and Natalie. Paige has thousands of photos and videos. Natalie has thousands of photos and videos. I have no idea how old anyone in this room is. I'll just date myself real quick. When I was a little boy, my dad was the only person in the house who could actually lift the video camera. So for my 7-year-old birthday party, there was this suitcase. I know it's hard to imagine. You lift up this device, which no one here is going to appreciate, really, I don't think. And my dad was the only guy who could fit it on his shoulder, and he would videotape the birthday parties. And this is things like VHS and stuff that nobody knows about anymore. Anyways, now my 7-year-old can videotape his birthday party because he has an iPad. Natalie has an iPhone. Paige has an iPhone. How does that change the content creation business? Anyone here ever work at an ad agency? Anyone ever work at a creative agency? Ooh, interesting. A lot of people made their livelihood off of pictures and videos. Pictures and videos. Remember stock photography? Anyone here still buying stock photography? Right, a couple of us. All right. And then we have the agency, we know that business, Don Draper, some of us have worked there. But then this new thing came around, the iPhone, Instagram, Paige, Natalie, and before we know it, everyone became a little micro agency. They're all creating content all the time. And a lot of us have focused our time and energy on, how many followers do you have, Paige? How many followers do you have, Natalie? How many of them are fake? And that seems to be the big topic. Versus, wait a minute, Natalie is actually really, really great at creating content. She's got a talent. She's got an knack for this thing. And that gets more and more interesting as you think about hardware. We recognize this ad, whether it's in the subway, that's what this is in New York, or a billboard here in LA. The smartphone community is trying to preach that phones can now create unbelievable quality content. That's really what this says. 4K video, portrait mode. Anyone use portrait mode? For my birthday, my wife took pictures of each kid. We have 4 little kids at home using portrait mode and then framed them. That was my birthday gift. It was unbelievable. The amount that we spent on a professional photographer, 0. Kind of a game changer. All right, so how do you take this idea of changing the agency landscape, empowering Paige and Natalie, and still manage to create great quality work? And that's what we're going to talk about today. All right. There's a lot of names here. Call Antonio is a great guy. I really hate logos. Logos are annoying. Every website you're ever going to go to is going to have every logo in town. Fuck logos. These are people's names. Message them on LinkedIn. Be like, yo, Antonio, is Dave legit? Or is he really making cool quality stuff for you? Whoops, I skipped. And that's really the real testament, by the way, when I'm looking at new partners or when I'm reference checking a potential employee or whatever it may be. You can't look at the stuff they put on their website or they send you when you're about to get a job. You've got to do your own diligence. Diligence comes from back channeling. For those of you who have teams, you want to back channel a prospective employee. For those of you who are choosing partners, you want to back channel that partner. Hey. All right, great. So let's see. Who are we? What are we doing? First and foremost, I don't know why this slide doesn't work, but it doesn't work. I found out 30 seconds ago. So yeah, Ashton Kutcher, he's a handsome guy. He's missing. All right, what's the story? We want to solve the content problem. We want to change the game. We don't want you to spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or sometimes millions to make content. We want Paige and Natalie to make content for you. I have no clue how the hell to do that. So I set out to find partners who do. My first partner built a company called AdSense. Who's heard of AdSense? AdSense is one of the most profitable acquisitions Google has ever made. And the other built Buddy Media. Salesforce acquired Buddy Media for almost $1 billion. It's one of the largest exits in social SaaS. If anybody wants to know how I did that, ping me direct, and I'm happy to share. SoftBank is the largest venture fund in the world. So when you hear about investment, don't get blinded by big numbers. Strategic capital is very difficult. They only invest in companies that they think will change the game, like Uber and Airbnb. Ashton Kutcher, blah, blah, blah. Let's move on. All right, what do we do? We automated every single step that's driving you nuts. From the recruiting, from the incentive, from the contractual obligations, the packaging, the shipping them a pair of jeans, the my mom ate my homework, I forgot to submit the video. All of that stuff has been fully automated so that you can press a couple buttons and come back with a gallery of creative. So let's get into it. Let's see this bad boy work. By the way, if it's not obvious, all the images and videos are made by us. We don't buy stock. So this is vitamin water content. All right. Coca-Cola. This is a true story. I woke up, I don't know what time I woke up. I guess it's not relevant. Coca-Cola woke up on the East Coast and at 8 a.m. put into the platform, oh boy, it's National Taco Day. We need some taco content. Go. Within 2 hours, they had 44 unique assets, all meeting their brand's guidelines. I can't get into what those details are, but there are a lot of details, as you know, working at brands. You have to pour out 1/3 of the Coke, you got to pour in this, whatever. And then they pick the assets they love best, and they use them on different platforms. So imagine having one unique piece of creative on Instagram, whereas you have it different on Twitter, so on and so forth. What else? What about cool videos? I think more important than videos, what about helping lower your CPA? How many of us are working on decreasing our CAC, trying to increase our paid media efforts? Oh, only me. Okay. Oh, and you rock. One of the best new tricks in town is better creative. I don't know why it's new. I feel like it's obvious. But the challenge is nobody could really afford to create high volume of content before, so they were very reliant on, well, we made this video for TV, put it all over the internet. Now you can make hundreds of videos and test it and serve a different video to Paige as you do Natalie. And Paige and Natalie, find me later. I'll give you guys a gift. Thanks for being my victims in this little story. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. CTR email. Oh, this one's my favorite. This is my buddy's company. He started this Bluetooth table thingy. He's been doing it for years. He's been doing really well. I didn't fully understand his product at all until we started making videos for him, and we started featuring and highlighting video testimonials where people are like, yo, I got this table. It charges my iPhone. I really love it. And he saw a significant lift in Amazon sales. That's pretty interesting. Or Sephora saying, hey, we don't want to use the white backdrop product photos as much as we do UGC. Why? Because we're not going in stores anymore. So the white backdrop photo, that's from catalogs that we're trying to drive people in store. Now you want to give them the experience. Like, this is what it looks and feels like on me. And that's everything from imagery to video and so on. Ooh, this is my favorite. When I first went to the venture community, I got bucketed into ad tech. Oh, you're another ad tech company. And this is not a joke. I said, one day our content's going to live on the back of a milk carton. And that was just straight up prophecy. Because this brand took the content we're using and put it on the back of a milk carton. Could you imagine how cool this is for this young lady? I got a handwritten note from her mother. People send their kids to talent agencies and do all this work in hopes of ever getting featured. And here's a young lady whose mom snapped a pic, put it on Instagram, whatever, and eventually got featured on the back of a milk carton. The irony of Polaroid using us to create content is fairly unreal, but they're using us to fuel all of their social, packaging, e-com, Amazon, the website, blah, blah, blah. All right, this just came out for those of you who watch television. The Zillow TV spot was made by Social Native. The idea that you can make video content for $500 is unreal. So imagine you come to Social Native and you say, I'm accustomed to spending 7 figures to make a video. And with 100 grand, we make you 200 videos. You pick the ones you love, you cut them up, you put it on TV, you put different videos on YouTube, you put different videos in email, you put a totally different video on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Print, I feel like you guys get the picture, so I'm going to just put on some cool little videos in the background, and I'm going to answer a couple questions, and then I'll tell you about pricing. Nah, that's boring. All right, who's got a question? Nobody. I heard you have to walk all the way to the front to ask a question, which is really embarrassing. So I'm going to pick on Natalie. There you are. What's up, Natalie?
You want to ask a question?
I do. It's awkward when you ask for questions and nobody tries to help.
Okay, I have a question. So you take people and you have them create content for you, and then you use it and you sell it to people?
Somebody get this young lady a job application. That was perfect.
No. I guess my question is, do you pay the people to give you the content?
Yeah, it's very, very simple and straightforward. How many of us here have used Uber or Lyft? Okay, we are the Uber and Lyft for branded content. So you need a video. What's your name? Tatiana? Okay, Tatiana needs a video for her brand. She has a couple options. Number one, get an intern to try to shoot it in-house, right? Because she doesn't have an in-house team. Number two, hire the agency. That's fairly expensive. Number three, find a freelance photographer. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before. It's not easy. Number three, there's this new Uber for content model where you go into the platform and you say, hey, I need 10 videos. I have a new mascara. Go. And the beauty is that we actually get Natalie and Paige, the people that are going to use your product to create the content, versus Don Draper, who's going to charge you a lot of money and has never worn mascara before, which some of us know that story quite well. Thank you, Natalie. Paige, get ready because you're next. All right, real quick. Speed, unparalleled, hours, days, weeks. I get this question a lot. What about product? If you're Coca-Cola or Chiquita Banana or Kraft, it's very simple. We tell people to go to the store and buy your product. No added cost to you. If you're a product that's not readily available, so let's talk about L'Oreal and Maybelline and Clinique. These are all customers of ours. A lot of times they have a new line, a new product, or Barbie and Hot Wheels and so on. They will ship pallets of product to our office, and we ship it out directly to each one of these people at zero cost to the brand. No cost for shipping, no cost for logistics, no cost for the handwritten letter that you send to people and so on. If you want to know the cost, I'm going to try to make it really simple. It's $500 per asset. Do the math. I'm coming. And then results, we are all about driving performance. We love the cost efficiency play, but forget about that. If you spend $100,000 to make a video, and you spend $500 to make a video, the $100,000 video drives X in sales or Y in click-through or whatever goals you have, but the $500 video is driving significantly more results. You will buy that $500 video all day, which, by the way, is why Facebook has become one of our biggest customers and now buys creative on social native and gifts it to advertisers. So if you're spending enough money, they will actually create the content and give it to you so that you get better results. Hold on, before I come to you, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question. So what if you're not a product? What if you're not mascara?
Hold on, Tio, what's your name?
Lauren?
Lauren, what's up, Lauren? Yeah, go ahead. So what happens if you're not a product? What happens if you're a service? Oh, like a dry bar? Okay, great. Dry bar. We have a long list of customers that are either selling an experience or a service. Experiences are actually the coolest because we send people in store and they create content around the experience. They generally are some of our biggest customers. So think about the hotels and the airlines and so on. They want real customers like yourselves creating content around an authentic experience, and then they're using that. So let's do a real quick one. Let's use dry bar. We send people to dry bars. Now, that's actually not that easy because let's say they only have 9 locations in the United States. You can't just randomly get people. Well, of the 100,000 people that are active in this marketplace, we have every single person's mailing address and cell phone number. So we can create a radius around a specific dry bar store, or I'll give you a real example. West Elm uses us across the country, and they send people in store to create Instagram stories content for all their new stores. So every time they have a new store opening, they send an army of people that create Insta stories, and they'll post those stories on social because they have that local audience base, but then also West Elm reuses that content. Is that helpful? And then on services like Intuit and PayPal and others, we create a little bit more of like generic style content, but they like it because it's brand owned and it's not being licensed by several other brands. Hey.
You're saying that you're sending people out to do this for the brand. Who are those people and how are you selecting them?
Okay, great. And what's your name?
Marina.
Marina? Hey, Marina. All right, yeah, that's probably like the biggest one that I skipped. All right, there's 2.5 billion people on this planet with a smartphone. So you can't just get up on stage and say, yeah, we get people with smartphones, great content. The first step is trying to figure out, of those 2.5 billion people, who is naturally more talented than others at creating content. How do you do that? Well, first, you get a lot of really good investors who have connections, and then you onboard Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, etc., and you start building profiles on individuals. So luckily, through our partnerships, we have a world of data on the audience, and we've learned how to predict who is likely more talented than others at creating content. So to give you an example, let's say you and I both have an audience base of 1,000, but on average you're getting 200 engagements per post and I'm getting 10. I could assume that Marina makes better content than I do. That's only phase one. Phase two is probably the most interesting, which is very much like Uber. For those of us who have taken Uber or Lyft, have you ever given a driver a 1-star rating? Have you ever given them a 5? I can tell you I gave my Uber driver on the way here a 4. He was a really nice guy, but he didn't have a charger, and my phone's dead. All right, but with that process, with time, in the last 4.5 years, Unilever and others have rated and scored every single piece of content created, and over time, we've built more and more moat around the people who make 5-star content. You know what else is really interesting? You start learning that people who make great quality content for Facebook that performs well organically or in ads generally make great quality content for Facebook, but they don't necessarily make great quality content for email. So what we've over time discovered is that different people make great vertical video and different people make great still images and so on and so on and so forth. One other quick tidbit that I think is very valuable: don't hire random people to create content for dogs. Hire someone who's a dog lover. Don't hire someone random to create content for kids. Hire a mom or a dad who hopefully loves their kids and is creating really authentic stuff. That's what works. So when I think about dads who play Barbie, the Super Bowl spot that BBDO made, we made 1,000 pieces of content of dads playing Barbie with their daughters. Turns out that content did significantly better across paid media ads than the models that were casted for the TV spot. Oh, no, we have a 1-question minute maximum. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. Oh, shit. Who sent you here? Where's my team? Carissa? Melly? Did you guys hire her? Okay, that's the trick, by the way. I get this question further down the sales funnel, so I'm glad to see you have interest, where they're like, how the hell are you doing this for $500? And it's like, so that is actually our business. We own and license the content to you, and that is our little trick. So you get the content, you get to use it wherever you want, whenever you want, on social and so on, and then you call me up a year later and you're like, Dave, this gallery of 6,000 assets, I love them. I want to use them in this and this and this. I'm like, oh, great. You have to keep renewing with Social Native to continue maintaining your license. It's our little sticky factor. You know any other companies that do that? Everybody who gives you free shit, like Google and Facebook and others, they do it. They have a lot of lost leaders, which is why we have to raise so much money to get people addicted to using our platform, and then over time we will charge you to license it years to come. That was very transparent. Sorry, did you want to ask me something, or? Go ahead.
I have a kind of a similar question follow-up. So your membership with Social Native, right?
Yeah.
Gets you the access to the license.
Oh my God.
Do you effectively have that license in perpetuity?
You guys are really good.
Internationally?
Okay, this is getting good. Wow, clearly I'm in an audience of people who know what's going on. All right. We do not charge you a SaaS fee. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of my investors hate it. But that's our game. We don't charge a SaaS fee. You can get in here. You can have a heyday. By the way, we also don't charge you for all the influencer marketing bullshit. Like, you want people to post that stuff on social media? God bless you. It's all free. You get millions of impressions and likes and comments, and obviously we track it all. We treat it like a focus group. We'll tell you, hey, this guy's stuff got a 9% organic engagement rate on his Instagram. You should totally use this on your Instagram. but we don't charge you for it. It's a very simple $500 per asset fee. So you make 1,000 assets, I don't know, 500 times 1,000. Based on how much you spend, that defines your license. So if you come social native and you have, I don't know, 100 grand, you'll get a year license. If you come social native and you have $500,000, you're going to get like a 5-year license, that kind of thing. Does that make sense? And it's all global. And you know what else is really cool? We do activations right now in Japan, South Korea, Mexico. We translated the platform into 8 languages. I'm actually really proud of that story. It was not an easy thing to do, as you guys can imagine, with tech and languages in different directions. But whatever, 8 languages is a pretty decent start. I can't see very well because there's lights. Oh, there's people up there waving at me. Sorry, hey. Okay, go ahead.
We've talked about some different verticals. Do you guys work with any destinations?
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Do a ton of stuff in Las Vegas. By the way, if anyone here has a product that you think I would like, call me because I love free shit and we'll hook you up with a discount. But we do a ton of stuff in Vegas, pretty much all the hotels. I don't want to say all because I don't know them all, but we have a lot of hotel clients in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about more destination content, more destinations
Like,
states and cities, countries.
oh, yeah, that's a good question. We haven't done that yet, but that doesn't mean we can't. Just so you know, 4 years ago we had done nothing and everyone thought I was crazy. So it's working, and there's just additional perspective. There are over 100 Fortune 500 brands using this platform every single month. So I like to think that means it's working, But what state or destination are you representing?
About 150.
Oh, shit. Yo, Melly, what's your name? Teresa, we're on you. Your friend had a question. What's your name? Same? Mutual? Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So my question is so you make this video and then we get it for a year or 5 years or whatever. And then at the end, during that year period, you make a video for us, someone else is like, hey, I really like that video, can I use it for my brand? Do we have the right to say you can't use our video for any other brands while we're using that video?
Yeah, 100%. And also, I will just point out to you, let's say you're Coca-Cola and you have very specific rules. Pepsi doesn't want to buy that shit from us. They wouldn't buy it from me if they could. What are they going to do with it? But people like Google and Facebook and others have some interest in it. If you want to know why, it's very simple. When you go to buy ads on Facebook, one of the biggest barriers to entry where there's the most friction, can anyone guess? Upload your creative. So instead of clicking on upload or instead of clicking on Shutterstock, hopefully one day there will be a gallery of all your social native content that's on brand. Now, I will tell you, I shouldn't have said hopefully. That already exists for our existing customers. The API integrations into all the partners, when you go to buy ads, when you click on your gallery, all the social native content already exists there. So MailChimp, Facebook, Google, Adobe, Salesforce, etc.
So,
Paige, don't worry, I'm coming back to you.
What do you think the future for the BBDOs and influencers?
Oh, by the way, what's your name?
Eileen.
Aideen. You know what? I just want to show this to you. Okay. Look, this is like the closing slide, that I forgot to go to. But then as a backup, I was like, maybe someone will ask me, what's the future? Okay, so here's my little thing. Content for consumers by consumers, you've heard that already, but here's where I think it gets more badass. This is the agency model. You do a late night with whatever, alcohol and illegal drugs, and you come up with this great idea. Polar bears drink Coca-Cola. Everybody loves polar bears. Give it to them. And a lot of our vision is that we are going to create a world where Aideen, Natalie, Paige, they have different interests. They have different things that excite them, and most of us know that already because you're posting it all on the internet, right? So I know that Aideen's a hipster, no offense, and I know that Natalie's really into fashion, and I know that Paige is a dog lover. If I can create a world where there's so much content in hand, and obviously it's all tagged already, and to the question about licensing and so on, if we can create a world where you know that serving this ad to a fashionista is going to create the most relevance, personalized messaging, and obviously, most importantly, performance, then this could be the future. I personally think this is the future. If you haven't heard this theory yet, you heard it here first, but it's really not my idea. A lot of people have this idea. Ooh, song. Audio. So you cannot use non-owned audio unless sometimes brands have pre-existing audio that they provide people. But generally speaking, the rule is you can't use audio that's not owned and original. And I will tell you that we just released audio content, so you can now activate people to create audio content for podcast ads. If anybody likes that idea, call me because I'm obsessed with it. And we have a big Fortune 100 advertiser that's piloting it now, and I'm looking for other pilots, so looking for victims.
So if you were a brand, you would have to give you guys the license to use it?
Either option A is they cannot use audio that's not owned and original. Option B is the brand can provide audio that they want to overlay on the video. Oh. I can't see. There's just a bright, bright light right in my eyes. Hello, waving person. And by the way, guys, that's Todd over there with the backpack. Find him later. Sorry, go ahead.
So the brand pays $500 in asset. How much of that is going to creators? Because I'm curious how the person on the milk carton, if you only paid $500 to get them on the milk carton, I'm curious from sales perspective.
Yeah, of course, of course. Look, the reality is when you're operating a cost-effective model like we are not onboarding people that are either A, like professional photographers who are charging $10,000, or a professional influencer who's charging $10,000. These are people who are very excited about collaborating with your brand. Authenticity is the primary KPI on our side of the business. Keeping that incentive low is part of our mission, because we believe if you pay people too much, you start getting sellouts. So, as an example, if I go to Paige, and I know Paige is a dog lover, and she has an opportunity to collaborate with Petco, we want her to be very excited about the collaboration. The incentive is strictly for ownership of the content so that brands can license it, and our audience is beyond excited about licensing. So, to go to your specific question about the milk carton, the mom went to the store, took a picture of the milk carton with her daughter, and reposted on Instagram about how excited she was. And then she tweeted about it. And the brand was obviously very excited, and they did like a little collab, like some blog post or something. But that's the type of people that we're activating. Did you want to ask me something? Yeah, go ahead.
I just kind of have a question if you've done much content development for emotional experience. You talked a lot about environmental or products, but what about like if you're trying to engage the general public to take interest in someone with a rare disease? So you have to focus on the patient perspective.
Yeah. So no, I cannot say that we've done that. But I can say that we spent a lot of our energy as a team working on pro bono work with the Ad Council and some stuff that we're personally motivated by. So I'll tell you two stories. One is for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We had, I think, 1,000 people go out and create content around how breast cancer has influenced them and distribute those videos across Instagram. It's pretty amazing, by the way, to get 1,000 people to do one thing in one morning. Walgreens used us to activate 719 people to do a photo shoot in one morning for an app. So I was like, can we do this for social good? And then the other is I have a very dear friend of mine who passed away from a rare disease. And so we activated a lot of people to go out and like talk about the disease and the cause and so on. So those have been more personal, but that doesn't mean we couldn't do that for someone who also has a passion in that category. Hey, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, so question for you. So you might have said this, but just to be clear, so you pay the $500, it's like a subscription, right? And then is there a limit to how much I can get out of that $500? Like, is it like, if I have 3 particular campaigns that I want to run with, and I'm like, hey, I need content for these 3 things, am I capped at 3, or?
No, do your thing, and you can use it on as many channels as you want, and you come up with whatever your heart desires. Like, I want you to do a handstand and wear a pink shirt and hop on one foot, and like, it's all you. People have the choice to opt in, by the way. Like, you come up with crazy stuff, people are going to reject you, But I think most of our clients are very thoughtful. They're like, hey, we want you to be really creative, come up with something really unique, which is hopefully what we got across through showing you all those slides. Like, that's actual work being done for brands. All right, guys, I'm going to let you get out of here. That was a lot of questions, and you guys were all very challenging and difficult, and you got me. Paige, you got me in a couple of those. That was good. I'm sorry to the upstairs crew. It was very hard to see up there. Stay out of trouble.